Whenever you're ready.
Today, we're going to be talking about adding stock to a trade that you're in versus adding back stock to a trade that you've been in. So, if you're a member of the virtual trading floor that I manage, which is called the Pro Desk, if you're not, check out the link in the description. You're gonna hear these terms thrown out a lot. I just added to this position, or I just added back some stock in this position. And you're definitely gonna wanna understand what those terms mean. Adding to a position means that you're taking on new additional risk. Meaning, maybe you already have a 1,000 share position in your stock and you put on your initial risk in that trade, and for whatever reason, you're seeing it set up in a different way where you are adding to that position and taking on additional risk. Usually, the only time that I am adding to a position and taking on extra risk is because it reset up with a different trade. For example, I was already in this breakout trade, to just use something simple. I'm in the breakout, my trade is working out really well, it's moving in my favor, and now it's created a bull flag. Based on that bull flag, I might add to this position, taking on additional risk. And then usually what I'm gonna do in that situation is I'll have multiple stop losses. I'll have a stop loss for the new trade, which is the bull flag trade, and I'll still have my stop loss for the original trade, which was that breakout trade. So I treat them, they might as well almost be two completely different symbols, right? It's two trades in the same stock, and I'm adding on additional risk with that new trade. That's different than adding back stock. Adding back stock is basically buying back stock that you already maybe sold at a higher price and keeping the original risk, but also putting the difference in your pocket. So for example, long 1,000 shares from $48, the stock got to $49, I sell 100 shares, and then I rebuy that stock at $48.75. I now have the same risk that I originally had. I have the same 1,000 shares, but I put that extra $25 in my pocket, right? I sold 100 shares at $49, I rebought it at $48.75. I'm taking my original risk back. I'm not adding new risk, like when I'm adding to the position itself. I'm just taking the risk back, but kind of keeping the difference. And that's a lot of what I do when it comes to my cash flow trading. So a lot of times with my approach to trading, you might see that I'm in positions for longer periods of time. I oftentimes will have swing trades that can last for days, weeks, or even months, but it doesn't mean I'm not active in those positions. I'm oftentimes holding a core position and I'm actively trading around it for cash flow. And what I mean by that is I'll sell some of my position as it moves higher, especially if it gets extended, and I'll look to repurchase that stock, taking my risk back, doing an add back of that stock, and kind of keeping the difference and putting that money in my pocket. So that's the difference between adding stock, where you're putting on new risk, and adding back stock, where you're keeping the initial risk that you had, but keeping the difference and putting it in your pocket. You should definitely check out the Pro Desk virtual trading floor that I'm running. There's some links in the description there where you can learn about how you can get involved. And there's also a link to my free ebook where you can learn about becoming a professional trader at T3 Trading Group like I am. See you next time.